So it's been 3 days that I've been in the city of Ahmedabad. I leave tomorrow morning. I was here on an assignment to cover India's match against South Africa. I saw the Indian team for the very first time, I must say, from very close quarters. 3 straight days. I've never in my career covered the Indian team in a way that I did over the last 3 days, and just thought before I leave the city I'll share my experience with you guys, having seen the Indian team from close quarters for 3 days in succession. 2 of the 3 days I saw them practice. The third day was the match day, and today I saw them from the press box. Yes, the view was good, etc, etc, but that's not what I was here for. I was here to see an Indian team win. I wasn't here for the view. I was here to see quality cricket, and I'm afraid to say the quality cricket I thought that this Indian team would present on match day, that went missing. Unfortunate that the winning streak is also now over. The Indian team had a proud winning streak till this very point, but now it's gone. So much that went wrong. But besides just the cricketing aspect, I wanted to just share my experience with you guys. And yeah, it is, you know, if I can call this a reporter's diary or something like that, then my diary would begin with what actually goes into the match day, the kind of practice that you see, the kind of quiet that exists in the stadium. And come match day, you know, everything changes. 2 days when I was here, I was coming here, I'd spent almost 10 to 11 up to 12 hours as well. The first day that I was here, nearly did 12 hours here, and for 3 days now, I think this has been my home. This place was my home for the last 3 days. But watching the Indian team from close quarters, seeing so many plans, you know, in training you feel that they're coming up with these plans, etc, etc, and not everything happens then. That's the funny bit about how training session goes. You think that you're picking up something. At times those things come true as well, but eventually none of it really materialized, or none of it really happened. Maybe you were preparing for something to come in the future. For example, Rinku Singh, I saw Rinku Singh bowl a lot of round arm deliveries, but I didn't see Rinku Singh bowl even a single over today. Also, another thing I would say, I saw Akshar Patel smack the ball very well in yesterday's training session, and by yesterday I mean T-1, the optional training session, and that gave me a sense that, you know, Akshar is definitely starting, and as he should have. If you ask me, one of the big blunders that India made in today's match was not picking an Akshar Patel. Remember, he's your vice captain as well. And what do you tell your vice captain if matchups is the best possible reason that you can present to him? I don't see any other reason why Akshar Patel did not start today's match, and I don't get the matchup bit as well, because that logic doesn't apply to our batters. You've got 6 left-handed batters in your 8, and you replace a left-hander with a left-hander. Yes, with the ball they bowl with different arms, but I'm just thinking, if I'm looking at that middle order, was David Miller the one and only reason, or Ryan Rickelton the other possible reason that you didn't have an Akshar Patel? Because he was batting very well, and if you ask me who the better bowler between Washington Sundar, who I did see bowl in the practice sessions as well, but besides the couple of times that I saw him beat Hardik Pandya, there is nothing much that I saw in the practice sessions that made me believe that Sundar's keeping his spot. Sundar will go ahead and retain his place in the 11, as was the case in the previous match. In the previous match, we all thought that this is just about having Washington Sundar ready. If there is an unforeseen circumstance that you need one of your backup guys to be drafted into the 11, let him be prepared as well. Let him have his skills polished also. Let him be in the rhythm too. But if because of tactics you went ahead and dropped an Akshar Patel today, that just beats me. He's saved this Indian team. He has the support of the locals over here, and I think the Indian team erred over there. The other thing I must talk about from having been here for nearly 3 days now is the enormous love I think this city has for all the local players, but there is one player I felt, and I must admit as well, I was a little shocked that Hardik Pandya has greater fanfare among the locals over here than a Jasprit Bumrah. I felt that Jasprit Bumrah, I like to say this very often, that Jasprit Bumrah is an absolute gem. He should be kept in the national treasury, and he's an absolute national treasure, nothing less than that. But I was quite astonished to see the kind of love. Of course, I expected there to be a lot of fanfare for Hardik Pandya. He too is very, very instrumental. He gives this team a whole lot of balance. But for him to be so popular among the fans was something new that I picked on my visit to Ahmedabad. Having said that, there is going to be a lot of disappointment as well, because this is not the result that you think that you think is going to be taken very nicely, because or you had accounted for. What you had thought was that this is a South African side who's going to get who's going to get a stiff competition from India, and in fact India would ultimately go ahead and edge past South Africa, and everyone here was left stunned. One of the images, in fact, if I ever look back at today's match, the one thing that I will always be reminded of, and it's never really a good thing when you see that on the telly as well, it especially happens in football much more than it happens in cricket, where you see fans leave the stadium when a team, let's say, chasing a match concedes a third goal, and there's no way back in the match, and the fans begin to go even before the final whistle is blown. I think I saw something similar today, and that was not a good sighting to see Indian fans rise up, thousands of them in different corners of the stadium, just rise up and leave all together. And that had happened after the 8th wicket had fallen, that of Rinku Singh. Once Rinku Singh was gone, and I think they were all latching on, they were all almost on the edge of their seats, almost sort of knowing what the fate is going to be like. But once Rinku was gone, they were left in hordes, I would say. They were ready. They were absolutely ready. And speaking of hope, I must say, since I've already established the kind of love I saw for Hardik Pandya, I must say that the fans over here were expecting Hardik Pandya to pull off a miracle. But truth be told, in the press box, while I could notice that the fans were still engaged, none of them were willing to leave their seats, and they thought that the match could still be won. I honestly felt, from if I was just applying my analytical mind over there, I felt there was just too much you had asked the Hardik Pandya to do as well. The top order needed to take more responsibility, and that did not happen. That was just too much that Hardik Pandya then had to do. Yes, he got that 6. He was able to break the shackles for you. You'd undergone a 25 ball spell where not a single boundary was scored. He takes on Maharaj, gets a 6 as well on the first delivery of the 11th over. But you'd ask Hardik Pandya to do a lot in this particular match. India still not done though. Let's not forget, it's still not doom and gloom for the Indian team. The Indian team does have a couple of matches still left, but then now they are the team feeling the pressure, not only because of what has happened to their net run rate. It's a negative 3.8 and they will now require a couple of results to go their way if they don't want an early exit from this tournament. And also remember, they've got to do their bit as well. They've got to beat Zimbabwe. They've got to beat the West Indies. The West Indies that have been impressive so far in the tournament. But the Indian team will have to get its act together now. What I must say is I like the fact that the Indian fan remains confident. The Indian fan, I spoke with a few of them after the match got over, and yeah, they remain hopeful, and I must say they're more hopeful than I perhaps maybe at the moment. Yes, I'm confident of this team, but the fans seemed far more bullish than I maybe at the moment. The fans feel that there is still there is still a very good chance of this Indian team changing things around and getting the results needed. And going ahead and winning the tournament also, not just getting stuck over here in the Super 8s. The fans feel that this team has the quality. In fact, the fans have been so hopeful that coming into this match, as I was doing the pre-match show earlier in the day, the fans were very expectant of an Abhishek Sharma to come good. Yes, Abhishek did score some runs today, but it feels like a bit of a curse right now, doesn't it? That one of the Indian left-handed openers is getting out on a duck, and it's a bad feeling to have if you're the host nation. And this is something India will have to fix. India will need to get some runs at the top if they want to go ahead and do something that no team has done. And perhaps the Indian team is now getting to know why is it that it's difficult to keep the title. Keeping the cup is not something that's happened ever before, and this Indian team wants to do that. Good that they've had this sort of a hiccup, but I wonder and I hope that this Indian team doesn't try too many things right now, because Suryakumar Yadav, I remember what he said at the press conference on T-1. He said that we got the wake-up call against the USA. If that was a wake-up call, I hope the Indian team doesn't take this defeat to heart and doesn't end up spoiling things now, doesn't end up going into a zone which they necessarily don't have to enter at the moment. The self-belief must be there. I hope they don't overdo things. I hope all the talk about keeping things simple that Suryakumar Yadav did in the build-up to this match, I hope they can do that, because you want this Indian team to do well, don't you? And for that to happen, they just need to get rid of some of the clutter that may have entered their minds at the moment. The next week is going to be crucial now. The next week is going to be absolutely crucial for this Indian team. They'll be watching the other matches of their group very closely now, but more importantly, they need to look within and they need to get things sorted. It can't happen. I maintain it can't happen if you don't choose the right 11, and that is the first and foremost thing that the Indian team should be doing. But as I wrap things up, I hope at this very venue where the final will be played, I hope the Indian team does come, because you're still awaiting a big match to be won at this stadium. The fans are absolutely cricket fanatics in this city, is what I have noticed. They love their cricket. They were here from a good couple of hours before the match started. Yes, they left early, and that just tells you how disappointed they were. That's not to say that I particularly like that behavior from fans at times. I think you've got to stick with your team through the thick and thin. But besides that, I hope the Indian team does come back to this venue to play the final on the 8th of March. And we're still awaiting a big win from the Indian team to come at this venue. Yes, you won bilaterals, etc. Even the 5th T20 against New Zealand was won by the Indian team over here. But you want this to become an iconic stadium. It's the stadium that you're looking at hosting not just cricket but much more as well. Remember the Commonwealth Games, who knows, the Olympics as well. So all of these things kept in mind, the fans, I think, deserve a big win at an iconic stadium like this. And yeah, hopefully it's going to be in the final. Then you've had two big matches, World Cup matches take place. One of them was today. The other one, I will not go ahead and talk about it, because you guys just know the match that I'm talking about. But hopefully in a World Cup at this venue, India are able to do something that they weren't able to do a couple of years back and weren't able to do tonight as well. With that, I wrap this edition of my Reporter's Diary. I hope you liked the work that I did at this venue in this city over the course of the last 3 days. Do leave in your thoughts in the comment section. I will try and look through those comments, and take good care. As always, I'll now see you guys from the Sports Today studio in Noida. Bye bye. Harshit Ahuja signing off for Sports Today.